Rob and Liz in the morning.
On His Radio.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I love candy corn. But I will say, if it did come down to candy corn and Reese's Cups, I would definitely choose Reese's Cups. Those are my favorite candy. But yes, I do like candy corn.
Yeah, she must have heard the news that there are 3 haters here of candy corn. Scott, I thought, was like a fan. Evidently, he's not.
No.
I felt bad because I threw him under the he loves candy corn bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm not a candy corn fan. Never have been, and I don't think I ever will. Unless they come out with a Reese's peanut butter cup that looks like a candy corn, then maybe.
Oh. Okay. Thought you were going the other way. I was like, ugh.
Don't do that to Reese's peanut butter cups. Do not.
Yeah, let's just not do that, though. Right. Correct.
Bad idea, Scott. Sorry.
And there's different levels. Like there's some candy that's nasty, but candy corn is reserved for nasty. It's just nasty. It's just gross. I'm sorry. It's so bad. Brittany, however, she may change her minds. Okay. She said, she texted, there is a Nerds candy corn. It's so good. It's sweet, but it's tart. She and her husband have already eaten 2 bags so far.
Wow.
What's her name again?
Her name is Brittany.
Nice try, Brittany.
I don't know, Nerds candy corn. That sounds pretty good.
You might have turned Scott and Liz over, but no, nice try.
As long as it tastes nothing like the OG, then we're okay.
And it can't look like candy corn either.
No.
So maybe.
And maybe not the texture. Okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
Here's another open mic, My His Radio App.
Hey, good morning, guys. This is Anita in Greenville. Y'all were discussing candy corn earlier. I can't believe y'all don't like candy corn. Oh, my goodness gracious. When October comes around, I'll buy like 8 or 9 bags just so I have enough to last me a while. I used to make the joke that if you ever doubt God loves you, open up a bag of candy corn. That's his love in physical form. I'm crazy. But anyway, I love candy corn. It's like my addiction. Okay, y'all have a great day. Love y'all.
Love you right back. Enjoy your candy corn. Enjoy. Love it. For all 3 of us, if you would.
You don't like candy corn? More for me.
Candy corn is the best candy corn the season ever.
Hey guys, I heard that you're talking about candy corn. I am a fan of candy corn. I love it a lot.
When I was a kid, I used to love candy corn. But now I cannot stand it. I cannot stand the taste. I cannot stand the filling in my mouth. My all-time favorite candy would be a Snickers, any kind of Snickers, but the top favorite right now is a pecan Snickers bar. But Reese's Cups, I love them too, but sometimes it's just too much peanut butter for me.
So Kitten said, Nerds flavored candy corn, because we had Brittany that let us know about the Nerds flavored candy corn. She said, ew, I am with y'all. Candy corn is nasty, but my favorite is the Brock's Peppermint Nougats at Christmas. Kitten, we need to talk.
Yeah.
Those are gross.
Rob and Liz in the morning.
On His Radio.
This is His Radio. There's this one lady in the midst of all of the devastation of Hurricane Helene in western North Carolina that made this post that's starting to go viral of a few lessons that she's learned from a mountain hurricane. She starts it right off. No one's talking politics. Most used cell phones say, how can I help? Greatest concern, family and friends, and no one really cares about Alabama beating Georgia. Men love power tools, and a man can cry when you drag a tree out of his yard.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she goes on just talking about how a sleeping bag and a hot meal is priceless. Something she had no idea about, never thought about until she went through a hurricane, which, this has been pretty much an anomaly, going through a hurricane in our area. Something else she said, you can never buy enough diapers. Water is a precious commodity, and Dawn detergent is a magic brew.
You can tell she has faith because she said God isn't dead in the midst of tragedy. She said you don't need a T-shirt advertising your church to be used by God, and Jesus lives in the midst of our brokenness.
And she's so right. You know, all the things that she listed are so true. And she has that perspective now. And I think she's gained a lot of gratitude for what she had before and what she has now. Those things are going to be different. Before, maybe it was more of a material thing. And now she's, you know, very thankful, grateful for her family and her faith.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
Shoplifting just happens, right? There's this one lady that is in the store, and she realizes, I think it's a convenience store, and she realizes when she walks in, some dude's like shoplifting. She watches a lot of cartoons, and she's learned a thing or two from cartoons, and it is karate.
Okay.
She puts a move on this dude and saves the store from a shoplifter.
All I can hear is the sound effects.
Yes. Goes on chop. And then gets the guy and brings him down. A little bit of jiu-jitsu and all that other stuff. It saves the store from a shoplifter.
From watching a cartoon.
Cartoons. Yeah, I mean, you can learn a thing or two.
Oh, my goodness.
Here or there.
And I know this is a throwback, but all I can hear is like, Captain Kim.
Right, I remember that one. Wow. So great and so brave. She was so brave to do that. That tickled Liz.
I just, in my mind, I'm just seeing her like,
right?
Which cartoon?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
She just learned some moves.
Oh, thank goodness she doesn't watch like Scooby and Shaggy. She'd have scrammed.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
Okay, so there are lots of babies being born right now, and parents are giving them adult names. And I've always thought it was, well, kind of funny when, like, you hear a baby and his name is Beauregard or something like this, right? And I just think, how do you look at a little baby and go, he looks like a Beauregard, you know, and you're rocking him. It's just odd to me. And so a lot of these names are starting to be given to babies. Now, our own Ninja, morning show producer, her little baby's name is Oliver. And to me, that is an adult name. However, they gave him the nickname of Ollie, and it fits perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Rob, but when I was growing up, I was called Robbie, Robbie.
See, I was completely different. They called me Elizabeth when I was younger. That's an adult name. Like, I can see how you look at a baby and say she looks like an Elizabeth. I get that one. Huh? But it's these Gertrude or, well, Ruth. Ruth doesn't really work because you got a baby Ruth, but.
The candy bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because I have one of my family members, extended family members, her name is Ruth, but they call her Ruthie. That's perfect for a baby.
Yeah.
So adult baby names, they're getting a lot of flack right now, of course, on the social. But I like most of them. Beauregard, maybe not so much.
You call him Beau. Yo, Beau.
You could. Do you think all the Beaus... Their full name is Beauregard, or is it something like Robert or Bobby?
Who knows? I don't know.
I need to know.
Beau, and I'm a Robert.
You were Beau?
No, I was not Beau, but I was a Robert. I was never called Beau.
Well, you will be from now on.
On the subject of baby names, my given name is Kathleen. When I was growing up, my whole family called me Kitten. My third grade teacher decided that Kitten was too immature, so she insisted on calling me Kathleen, which really aggravated me. I've been called Kat, Kathy, Katie, Kate, Kitten, and Kathleen.
Okay, so I think you want to be called Kitten.
I think so too.
Since we're your family, we're going to call you Kitten. What a story.
And I love that kitten. And just that it was, christened to her from her family makes it even more special. So Holly texted. She said, okay, my kids' names are Roman and Scarlett. So while she was expecting Scarlett, there was another name that was kind of an option for her, out there. It was Evelyn. So she kept kind of weighing it, I guess, in her mind and decided she thought Evelyn was an old lady name. So not necessarily for a baby. And I see that. I see that it's an older name, like it's one of those throwback names. But I have a little niece. Well, she's like 19 now, and she fits the name Evelyn 100%.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
Okay, so there are lots of babies being born right now, and parents are giving them adult names. And I've always thought it was, kind of funny when, like, you hear a baby and his name is Beauregard or something like this, right? And I just think, how do you look at a little baby and go, he looks like a Beauregard, and you're rocking him? It's just odd to me. And so a lot of these names are starting to be given to babies. Now, our own Ninja, morning show producer, her little baby's name is Oliver. And to me, that is an adult name. However, they gave him the nickname of Ollie, and it fits perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Rob, but when I was growing up, I was called Robbie, Robbie.
See, I was completely different. They called me Elizabeth when I was younger. That's an adult name. Like, I can see how you look at a baby and say she looks like an Elizabeth. I get that one. Huh? But it's these Gertrude or, Ruth. Ruth doesn't really work because you got a baby Ruth, but...
The candy bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But because I have one of my family members, extended family members, her name is Ruth, but they call her Ruthie. That's perfect for a baby.
Yeah.
So adult baby names, they're getting a lot of flack right now, of course, on the social. But I like most of them. Beauregard, maybe not so much.
You call him Beau. Yo, Beau.
You could. Do you think all the Beaus... Their full name is Beauregard, or is it something like Robert or Bobby?
Who knows? I don't know.
I need to know.
Beau, and I'm a Robert.
You were Beau?
No, I was not Beau, but I was a Robert. I was never called Beau.
Well, you will be from now on.
Rob and Lizz in the morning.
On His Radio.
It's a new flavor of 7-Up. It has, Scott's favorite thing in it, pomegranate and cherry, and they're calling it a Shirley Temple.
Feel all fancy. It sounds, like a fancy soda, like I'll have a Shirley Temple, but it's a 7-Up. Yeah. But I like anything with cherry in it. That's sort of my thing. So when I saw this, I thought, hey, I got to try this. Looks good.
Well, like a real Shirley Temple has grenadine in it, which has no cherry. It's just pomegranate.
So I think the cherry adds a little tartness, a little sweetness to it. I don't know what really pomegranate tastes like.
Oh, super sour.
Okay.
Like makes your whole face.
Yeah. I hear pomegranate. I'm like, I'm running from this thing.
Oh, pomegranate is so good, and it's so good for you. Oh my goodness. So
why is it the good stuff for you taste horrible?
It doesn't. It does not taste horrible.
It does.
No, Sprite.
Pomegranate.
Stop
This
it.
is planet Earth.
Cherry. This has got cherry in it too, so it'll be good.
It just has a little, I think it just had a little splash of cherry, but it's mostly pomegranate, so wrap your brain around it.
Listen, you can't put lipstick on a pig, and that's what this cherry is to this whole 7-Up pomegranate.
Rob and Lizz in the morning on uplifting and encouraging His Radio.
We just got a text in at 800-447-7234. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, His Radio.
Yeah, it's from John, and John said, hey, wait a minute. I thought Share-a-thon started today. You know what? It was supposed to.
It was. John, thank you for reaching out and asking such a great question. We forgot but didn't forget, if you know what I mean, because of Helene and the damage and the devastation that it brought through our area from Georgia through the Carolinas, and I mean Western North Carolina, oh my. And so we feel in our hearts, because we live here, we're with you, we're family, we're in the community, that the time right now is is to postpone Share-a-thon. It's going to come later in the year. We'll let you know about that coming up in a couple of weeks. You'll hear the decisions that are being made as far as when Share-a-thon will happen, but it's not going to be this week because the focus is to bring some joy, to bring some hope in the middle of all this junk that just happened to us. And then we see Milton that's just about to devastate the Tampa Bay area and all of Central Florida, which we're praying that that does not happen. But we're looking at the hurricane going, wow, there's more stuff. Why are we going to ask for people to support the station now when there's so much need in the community? And let's just do what we do best and do that. I mean, if you want to support, that would be wonderful because we still need it. I mean, you can text the word GIVE to 800-447-7234. A few people have done that, but Share-a-thon, which is how we raise the operational budget for the station, we're just not going to do it this week. We just feel like we should not do that.
Right, absolutely, because the focus and our main purpose right now is to love on the community. You know, we're all walking through something different right now, depending on where you are, and it's just not the right time for Share-a-thon. It is letting you know where resources are. It is giving you maybe a laugh here and there just to kind of break up the monotony of what is happening. You may be waiting on power or maybe trying to figure out, you know, where am I going to live? How am I going to rebuild? And so the focus is on the community.
So great question. That was John, you said?
Yep.
John, thank you for that text. We're so grateful. And your concern about how come you're not doing Share-a-thon right now? I think you need the support, right? The answer is yes, we do need the support, but we're postponing it. So thank you again for your prayers.
Rob and Liz in the morning on uplifting and encouraging his radio.
So I'm reading about this police officer in Minnesota. It's like northern Minnesota. He's in a high car speed chase, you know, chasing this car down. It's like, this is a Honda Pilot, like just driving so crazy, 80, 90 miles an hour, sometimes hitting 100 miles an hour. He finally catches up to the car, gets next to the car, quickly figures out the car's out of control. It's like the person in it cannot stop the car, cannot slow it down. And here comes, just like the movies, a dead end in front of them, and they're going 130 miles an hour. Somehow the police officer, his name is Zach, was able to get a hold of the person's cell phone number, called them and said, listen, put your car in neutral, hit the emergency brake, and then turn it off, and just run right into the tail end of my car. And he slowed them down to a stop, just in time not to crash at that dead end. Talk about quick thinking.
Quick thinking, and this state trooper put his life on the line. Yeah. He knew that he had to do whatever it took to stop this, which is crazy. It's a Honda Pilot. That's like an SUV. I mean, that's almost like a minivan type situation. And this thing just keeps gaining speed and gaining speed. And yet, this trooper just gets right in front, stops the vehicle, saves how many lives? I mean, we just don't know.
Right? Especially the person in that car. And the way that he was able to slow it down, it's like, listen, yeah, I mean, this is a whole movie move, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something you would see in the movies. And it's almost like Speed, you know?
It really is.
Coming to the end and getting right to the dead end and then the car stopping. Absolutely amazing. So way to go to that trooper. And I think there was a lot of prayer that was happening in that moment that was completely answered.